Wow. They're literally on the top of the reeds.
You know, oh, this is extreme birding. Matt gets tired.
Wasp eater.
Sorry. Sorry.
Norfolk, North Norfolk, one of the best places in the UK to be during the autumn migration. Migration, one of the best times of year for a birder. So off I go for a weekend of migration birding in Norfolk. But first off, take a little massive detour via the coast of Suffolk. But why? All right, I have begun a 3-hour journey to find one particular bird, and I'm not even gonna breathe the word of the bird because it is very rare. It's really rare, really rare. I think there's only one here, and it's been there for a few days, but the sun's coming out and the wind's changing and there's every chance it might go, so as you can see we are in a great rush. Stuck in traffic. This is the big one. I mean, I've talked recently about a twitch. This is a twitch because we're literally, I say we, I am here atop the cliffs on the Suffolk coast, specifically in Dunwich. Just seen one of the most sensational birds I've ever seen. It is the Turkestan Shrike, otherwise known as the red-tailed shrike. And not only is it a very rare, vagrant bird, it's only the 13th time it's ever been recorded here in the UK. And for that reason, I am not the only one who's made the journey. This particular bird is a male red-tailed shrike, and it seems to have a perch that it really likes to sit on, and it's basically using that perch as a base to then launch itself, fly across the field here, maybe down onto the ground, and grab itself a wasp or a hornet. We think we just saw it take just now. Then it will fly back to its perch, find a little spike to put the insects on, and then save them for later. I mean, you may have seen the Elmley video, but this is the biggest twitch I've ever done. Driven 4 hours for one little bird sat on one medium-sized bush. Oh, that is one of the best birding encounters I've ever had. I know I can be effusive, I know I can say this sort of thing after a while, but when you travel 4 hours to see that one bird, oh man, I'm all at 6s and 7s here. So let's start again, shall we? John, do you remember when you said you were in a great, I think the words used was great hurry to get to Snettisham, to Snettisham to see
I just thought I'd check out the
a short-toed lark.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. I just thought I'd have a quick browse of the newspaper, you know, man of my age, newspapers. What's a newspaper, sir?
You can read it later on with your Garibaldi biscuits and your hot water bottle.
Oh, wait till you see the hot water bottle.
Oh no. That's one of the most I need to find some new superlatives. It's just one of the most brilliant birds. I always say brilliant, but it was a brilliant bird, and I think it might be the rarest bird I've ever seen, I think. You know, given the fact that it's only ever been recorded 12 times before this sighting, ever. Because the thing about a Turkestan Shrike is that there isn't a place called Turkestan, although I think there might have been historically, but Turkestan sort of spreads over multiple countries in Central Asia, so like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and quite a lot of them breed in Kazakhstan. But on migration, the Turkestan Shrike will head for India, which from where it is in Central Asia is southeast. But every now and then, one of these birds gets confused and its sort of internal compass gets all discombobulated and it flies the opposite direction of southeast to India and ends up in the northwest, directly opposite, in Suffolk or even Norfolk or Yorkshire or Shetland. It's literally there, and the reason it will arrive there isn't because that's where it wanted to go. It's gone completely the opposite direction and then just needs to find land because it needs to survive. So of course it just needs, like, that's why it's by the coast, because it literally just would have landed there from flying across the sea and gone, oh, I need some food, and that's what it's doing. It's just feeding.
It didn't stop hunting the whole time, and I mean, people were saying that it was actually actively storing. We watched it, a big flying insect like a hornet. They caught a hornet and stuck it onto a bramble bush, so it's obviously storing food for later, because that was the shrike's larder. That was the shrike's larder that we saw. It was putting together.
Yeah, and didn't you see it?
Yeah,
it caught a lizard.
Well, it had caught a lizard and it had impaled it onto a thorn. Of course, that's why they get the name butcherbird.
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 Is that all shrikes?
All shrikes, butcherbirds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but the thing was, it was feeding all the time, and it looked very healthy. The plumage was very tight. It looked active. It didn't look fluffed up and lethargic. So it's obviously feeding well. And the whole time we watched it, it was watching flying insects, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it certainly caught a couple of. I mean, we watched it eat a wasp.
Yeah.
It ate a wasp, and it coughed up a pellet of the chitin from the insects that it had been eating, which is interesting. You could see it starting to prepare to expel the pellet, which was really interesting behaviour. But that was the views that we were getting were unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It is now something to 6, I think, in the evening. As you can see, a lot darker. And we have driven, well, John has driven all the way from Dunwich to Snettisham, which is on the North Norfolk coast. So that was another 2.25 hours in the car. And now we've got a 20-minute walk to find another very small bird. There have been reportings, well, not just reportings, sightings of a short-toed lark. So the light is fading and there's every chance that this bird won't still be here. But as is the magic of YouTube, you won't have to wait as long as I'm gonna have to wait. Well, we didn't see it. There is a distinct lack of short-toed larks on this beach, isn't there? Do you remember my friend Toby that nearly ran me over on Spurn? Oh, that was my mate Toby. Toby just nearly knocked me over. There he is. Guaranteed me a short-toed lark. Guaranteed. Oh look, the sun's setting. First reported here at 8:50 this morning. It's now 6:30 and it's been here all day until a minute before we got here. And as you can see, it's properly dark now. I look like I'm on the set of a Coldplay video. Toby over there
had it in his scope, just literally along the path for a good hour before we got here, and for that whole hour, still had it. I was texting him on the walk up, and as we got here, he looked over and went, and we don't know where it went, but it's another one of them. Two to the minute. A minute earlier, and we would have seen it. A minute of the whole day that it's been here. You win some, you lose some, and today, I'm sorry, but we won some.
Shrike.
To the Shrike.
Oh. Now that is a hot water bottle. Look at that.
Good morning, and it is good because there doesn't seem to be much wind, and there is no precipitation. Precipitation. There's no precipitation. We were up with the lark, if the lark gets up at around about 5:15, and we are heading to Snettisham in hope that we may see one of the last Wader spectacles of the year. There's a queue to get in the car park.
Can't believe it.
No way. Oh my word.
We thought we were going to get here early. Look at this. It looks to me as though you can't actually fit. Car park full. Car park full.
Ah.
Hey, so where should we park?
You're following everyone else.
Just go.
There's car parking on the right at the end of this road.
All right,
Great,
thank you.
Come on.
Phew. we got up so early to get here this early so we could get a head start on people. It's hundreds of people here. Hundreds. So we've just walked about 2 kilometres from where we parked the car. There are hundreds of people here. The Wader Spectacular is when the tide comes in, and currently the tide is pushing all of the waders further in, and eventually there's going to be nowhere for the waders to be, and so they're going to want to get to these pits. In fact, I'll show you. There are some sort of, whether they're gravel pits or basically bodies of water that presumably aren't tidal, and so all the waders, and when I say all the waders, there will be thousands of them. So that water stretches all the way up there. The tide is going to wash over the mud. This is why this part of the coastline is called the Wash. That's Lincolnshire over there, like dead ahead, that is Lincolnshire. And it's going to push the birds over into the water. Oh my word. Oh man. So several times now we've had a marsh harrier obviously try to pick off the birds in flight, but also swoop down and grab them from the floor. So when there's a marsh harrier flying around, it puts all the birds up.
Well, that was cool. Unreal. I've never seen anything like that. So there were about 70,000. I think I counted 70,023, but roughly 70,000 knots. Of course, several thousand oyster catchers and Dunlins, bar-tailed Godwits, black-tailed Godwits, Redshanks. You can see why they call it the Wader Spectacular. It's quite a sight to behold. Now, when I said they were all going to fly over, we did have a good number of birds fly over our heads, but actually we didn't get all of them. The reason everyone was here today is because it was a high tide at a good time of day, but the tide didn't quite get high enough. Where all those knot were flying around was above the last little bit of mud on the wash, and the tide didn't quite come in all the way. It was meters in it, and so the knot clearly thought, I'll stay here then. But that's okay, because I can come and see it another time. They don't do it exactly the same way every single time, but what you do get every single time is nearly 100,000 birds mixing and flying in all different directions, forming patterns in the sky like a starling murmuration. And the sound of the wings when they started to move was like nothing I've heard before. It was awesome. We're now walking back towards the van, but we're going to go beyond the van and have another look for this short-toed lark. I mean, as if we're going to find just one short-toed lark, but we're going to have a go. So the 70-odd thousand, potentially more, upward of 90,000, but the 70-odd thousand knot that we saw back there, red knot is the official name, the common name, but in the UK we just call them the knot. They've come from the Arctic and Canada. Some of them would have flown 9,000 miles. So they are a migratory bird. And what they're feeding off on the mud is things like tiny little shellfish and little mollusks and all that sort of stuff that those waders love. There is some water behind these homes, static homes. Behind these little buildings there's some water, and we just stopped and looked through the gap, and we saw some black-headed gulls, a few common gulls, and a med gull, a Mediterranean gull. So that's cool, brilliant for the day list. We're now heading towards the short-toed lark. Well, we're heading towards where the short-toed lark has been seen. Probably got another kilometre to walk up the coastal path here. Just walking along the shoreline here, and there are several oyster catchers down by the water.
and there was a white bird that from a distance, from where I am here, looked a bit like a big tern, so we checked it out. It's a leucistic oyster catcher, which is really, really unusual. I've never seen one before. It's quite cool to see any bird that's leucistic, but to see a leucistic oyster catcher, I mean, I've seen thousands. Oh, it's moving. It's moving. We've had thousands of oyster catchers flying all around us today, but I've never seen a leucistic one. Leucism in birds is when the eyes, the beak and the legs, they'll all stay the same colour, whereas of course in an albino bird would have the pink eyes. And so it could be totally pale, it could be totally white if it's leucistic, it could just be patchy and pale in certain areas, but it is a loss of pigmentation in the feathers, just not complete. Albinoism, an inability to create pigmentation. Leucistic birds do create pigmentation, it's just how much of it. And so this bird, I mean, you can see on this oyster catcher here, it's got a relatively darker head, so it's not affected the head too much, but it looks like it's affected the rest of the bird. It's amazing. It's absolutely, it's so unusual to see.
You eat this young lad here for the short-toed lark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly
So
what
we.
do.
I watch your videos.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Hi, how's it going?
And
This story has a happy ending, right?
yeah, and then on a distant spit, I see a wader, very large. It's a green shank. The green shank was like always seen with the yellow legs. And then the other bird looked through his scope and then saw that there was a smaller wader. And at that exact moment that he saw that there was a smaller wader, they both flew on the bank directly in front of us.
Yeah.
And the yellow
And it
legs
was there.
walked right up to us and then walked back.
Unbelievable.
That was,
To you and walk back.
it came like right close. Wait, I think it was
Right, I am knelt down in the sand because, unbelievably, with the help of
'cause some of my
20,
videos when I'm
30
filming it like
other
that,
birders,
like usually sometimes when there's like a
we got the short-toed lark.
fence, like in the-
Don't worry about it, we got it. And that's amazing because it's probably the only one in the UK. I think it's the only one I've seen reported anywhere. And at some point it's going to head to sort of sub-Saharan Africa, India. It does breed across Europe, but it's a very, very rare, scarce migrant. But it's such a tiny little bird. I mean, imagine that's the bird we've been looking for. That tiny little bird.
Yeah, that's right. We'll walk
But
down to the beach.
what's fun about it?
I saw something fly out of
This guy, by the way, this guy's a legend. This guy's a legend. He's seen everything. He's called Kai, and he's one of the coolest birders I've met this year. He's up to 158 now, I think, on his bird list. The cool thing about the short-toed lark is that they do actually have short toes, like shorter than most larks anyway. And that's one of the reasons it can make its way across the, shingles. It's all going off here. Someone spotted a snow bunting. I've never seen a snow bunting. I mean, I've never seen a short-toed lark, but I've wanted to see a snow bunting for a long time. I saw it through someone's scope, so I have seen it, but now we're going to try find it. Well, here we go. One of the most sort of confiding birds we've seen, other than the shrike obviously yesterday, the snow bunting. The snow bunting is a bird that whenever I've been in Norfolk, they have been seen down here on the coast. They love these sort of shingly beaches. But I've never seen one. I've always dipped a snow bunting. And there was a reporting of the snow bunting a bit further down the coastline, all the way around to Cley actually, and we were thinking about heading down there later on just to see if we could see the one that's been reported. But this one just came out of nowhere. We were all looking for the lark because the lark flew off further down the path, and someone went, there's a snow bunting right in the middle of the shingle beach. Another amazing migratory bird. Another bird that's come from the sort of high Arctic, Norway, Iceland, Greenland, all the way over to Canada. So think of the miles that these birds, these tiny little birds, the hardy little bunting. Actually, it's the hardiest songbird. The fact that it can survive alone on these shingle beaches is amazing. But they do sort of sometimes sort of go and hang out with linnets, goldfinches and greenfinches popping about. So yeah, there's safety in numbers, and there's a few numbers here. I'll tell you, look at this. These people are loving the day. Back on the short-toed lark, the bird with the short toes. It's just sort of going in and out of that dead sort of stuff on the beach, which is making it harder to find because it is quite a long way away. I need some chips specifically from a good fish and chippy.
I'm not sure how much protein you're going to get from
Don't matter.
Yeah.
I need some chips. I'm starving.
Just say.
What time is it? Think what time we got here?
12:23.
So 6.5 hours we've been birding. Should we go and find some lesser yellowlegs?
That sounds like a brilliant idea.
Let's go find some yellow. We get lesser yellowlegs and snow bunting.
Ruddy shelduck.
Oh yeah.
We've got ruddy shelduck.
That's miles away though.
Yeah, we can do it.
Well, all the birds are here. All the birds are in Norfolk. I'll see. We're going to the chippy. See you later.
The thing about today is the sense of community, that there were so many people interested in birds coming together in one place to see what is just a magnificent spectacle.
Just didn't think there'd be that many people there.
No. I mean, that's the thing, you know, you come to a place like that, at that time in the morning, I knew as soon as I saw the headlight, of all of the birds, thousands and thousands of birds, to see one that's leucistic, and just the fact that that bird's swaying, swirling movement of waders, and there's a dunnock in front of us, being forced out of the marginal vegetation by the tide, because he literally flew out because the water level was rising. He was foraging just in amongst the vegetation. I mean, how bizarre is that? That's odd, isn't it? Because you said, oh, dunnock.
Yeah.
You know, and those mallard just feeding like ducks on a pond. Tide comes in.
So here's one for you. Another sighting of a bird, a vagrant bird, a bird that should not be here, a bird that has either flown in the wrong direction because it's stupid or it's got blown by the wind. A bird that I've never seen. It has been sighted and reported here, not at an RSPB reserve. Nope, this is a completely random housing development just north of King's Lynn. I'm in Wootton Grange. This is bonkers. This is basically a bit of water that they've put in. Just a random housing development near King's Lynn. You can hear skylarks. Oh, we've actually got it.
Yeah, right over the back. In fact, there's two.
Snipe.
Yeah, two snipe right over the back, feeding amongst the godwits.
We've got the lesser yellowleg. We've got a green sandpiper. We've got bar-tailed godwits, and now we've got two snipe. So I better, get back to it. I cannot come to Norfolk and resist the opportunity to come to one of my favourite ever nature reserves. Back at Titchwell, back at Titchwell.
Beneath the shadows of this quiet town, I see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. What's in a life you never could unfurl? Even if you've never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound.
I am sat on a bench that I have sat on many times before, because I've been told by the RSPB, no less, that the bearded tits have been very active today, and this is the spot where they tend to be most active. Now, I have sat here every time I've come to Titchwell, and I have never seen a bearded tit. I have heard them once, but I have never seen a bearded reedling at Titchwell. What's that going down there? Someone just flew in then. Don't know what that was. Never seen one. Never seen one here. So I'm gonna sit here because look at the day. Absolutely beautiful. And given the birds we've seen today, surely today is the day that I see a bearded reedling at Titchwell Marsh. Until today, I had never seen a bearded tit at Titchwell Marsh. And guess what? I still haven't. Oh, so we're going to go to the hide. I mean, it's not even a flicker. Not even a sound.
Don't let your worries weigh you down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound. You're earthbound.
Just letting everyone know we're looking at a Caspian gull. Looking at a Caspian gull, aren't we? Caspian gull, I reckon.
We'll see, we'll see.
He doesn't want to commit.
I'm not committed.
If I know my gulls,
Yeah.
why wouldn't it be a Caspian gull?
Oh, are you still recording?
Yeah.
Getting exposed here. You're my weakness. Goals.
Zeiss
No.
expert. Zeiss expert. Caspian gull. Definitely. Can I have a look at it?
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to check, you know. Oh yeah, Caspian, isn't it? Well, the one in the middle? Yeah. Look at that, the black on the end of its bill. Do herring gulls have black on the end of their bills like that?
Some do.
Some do, not this one. Toby now thinks it's a herring gull.
Oh, do I?
Toby thinks it's a herring gull, but I got Merlin here, and if I just put a photo that I just took on my phone there, zoom in like that, just put that like that, and then if I press this, see what Merlin says, shall we? Bearing in mind that I said it was a Caspian gull, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna Check this. Oh, hello. What's that?
I can read that.
This is turning into one of the best birding weekends I've ever had, and today alone is turning into one of the best birding days I've ever had. Here at Titchwell, where the water is glassy and the sun is just... Oh look, you've got geese flying across this. This is stunning, absolutely stunning. And since we've been here, we've seen birds that we haven't seen for the rest of the day. Birds like ruffs and golden plover. We've had pink-footed geese flying flocks over the reserve. We've had avocets. We've had snipe feeding in the shallows along the edge of the pools. And right now, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a marsh harrier flying across that skyline. And not only have we seen all these birds, the soundtrack to this walk from the end there, well, from the start of Titchwell all the way to what is the end. That is the sea over there, that is the beach. And along that walk, I'm hearing curlews out in the grasslands there somewhere, lapwings, the geese, the water rail has been doing its own, like its oinky scream. Oh, hang on a minute, what is this? Just a lone redshank. Just a lone redshank. Another bird that I've been hearing all the way down this walk. Just down here, anyone, I had one of the clearest views I've ever had of a water rail, just sort of preening. And I just can't get enough of this glassy water and the sunset. So once again, Titchwell comes up trumps. Apart from the bearded tits.
This dog was going mental. Cheers.
It is a new day, the last day actually that we are here in Norfolk. This is the third day and it is, well, it's really misty, but actually that's quite nice. Hopefully it lifts so we can see some birds, but it's so atmospheric and it was nice to have to drive out of Wales via the wharf. There were curlews calling and starlings up in the whatever you got, the top of the mast of the boat. Lovely, beautiful, lovely start to the day. A little bit of a later start to the day. It is currently 8 o'clock, bang on the dot of 8 o'clock, so it's quite nice. I mean, it's a good job we didn't get up and go to the crack of dawn, because they're basically, the crack of dawn would have been the fog of dawn. But I have got current favourite cereal from a brekkie. Oh yeah, Weetabix Crispy Minis, got little chocolate chips in them. So, now we're gonna just gonna head over to driving over to Cley. Ready for the day, John?
I'm absolutely ready for the day. Loving the mist.
Well, ready for it.
Mist or is it fog?
Well, what is it?
Depends on the visibility.
Geography teacher.
Yeah, depends on the visibility, doesn't it, and how far. So
is that what it is?
But the thing is, I'm nice and warm in my rock and roll up beanie.
Oh, he's got his rock and roll beanie
Yeah.
hat on.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Very, very warm. So the reason why we've got lots of mist today is because it was a lovely warm sunny day yesterday, and therefore there was lots of evaporation. Warm air holds moisture, and so it was able to absorb all of that moisture that was being evaporated. But overnight the temperature has dropped, cold air doesn't hold moisture, and so it is condensed out. So effectively what we've got here is low cloud. And I'd say, looking at the visibility conditions, because we can see further than a kilometre, it's mist. If you can see less than a kilometre, it's fog.
Huh.
So there you go.
Oh, well, there we go. Well, we've all learned something today,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. But it will lift, because it's still conditions as well. It's the fact that it's that it's not windy, so it's got time just to sort of dissipate, and the sun will burn it off,
Yeah.
Chetties.
All right, we are now somewhere between Cley and Salt Marsh. As migrant birds fly in off the sea, the first place they hit are these marshes, and then for woodland birds, this is the first bit of woodland.
Top the reeds.
Where are they? There. Oh, I can see one.
Yeah.
But it's right in the...
Oh, they'll come up though. They'll come up. There you go. There's one at the top.
Oh, this is brilliant.
The last time I saw beardies here was about 15 years ago, and it was along this path.
Was it?
Yeah. And
But literally here?
literally here. And when we were in the van over there, I was going to say something, and I actually thought to myself, I don't want to jinx.
Don't see. I'm so glad you didn't say it.
I'm not going to say anything. I mean, how about that? How about that? I actually thought to myself,
They're literally on the top of the reeds. Oh, that's unbelievable. Look at this. I'm in absolute awe. If you're ever walking past reed beds like this, you've just got to stop and listen, because even if you don't see them, to hear that iconic sound of the reed beds pinging. How special is that? And if you do hear that, and of course if you see them, you can count yourself very lucky, because there's only about 600 pairs of bearded tits across the whole of the UK. I've never watched bearded tits for so long. I've never seen them so active. So that ping and a similar pingy call like that. That's them calling to each other, just to let each other know where they are, that they've got food, because they feed, this time of year anyway, they feed on the seeds of these reeds, and quite often they'll feed as low down as they can. They could be predated by marsh harriers, but at the moment they're spending a lot of the time feeding down low. They are so brilliant at not being seen. Which is why patience is the key. I mean, I've been here now. I don't even know what the time is. John's gone. I mean, he loves a bearded tit, but I keep saying bearded tits. They're not in the tit family. You probably know this, but if you don't know this, bearded tits aren't a tit, like a cold tit, a great tit, a blue tit. A little bit like long-tailed tits. They're not actually in the tit family either. Bearded tits are in the something like Perudini, something like that. Perudini. Anyway, that's their family. They should really be better known as bearded reedlings. So if you do ever have Merlin up, for example, and you think you might have heard a bearded tit or bearded reedling, Merlin will say bearded reedling. They're the same bird, just a different name. And for me, both male and female are absolutely stunning. Like the colours, the male, of course, that iconic look with that moustache of black down either side. It looks like one feather. It's not. I used to think it was one feather, but it's actually a group of little feathers just finely together, giving the impression it is just a one feather moustache, which I love the idea of. You know, just saying. I've caught John up here. You've been looking at dandelions, have you?
Yeah, I have been looking at dandelions.
What a good job, I didn't
love
follow
dandelions. Look what we're looking at here, reed bed, and you go, well, it's just a load of reeds, isn't it? But actually, those little parrotbills, those little bearded tits have absolutely...
Parrotbills?
They're a family of birds called parrotbills. So they're not actually... They're not a member of the tit family.
No, but isn't it like Perudini or something? I said Perudini earlier.
I don't know the Latin name, but they're parrotbills.
Parrotbills?
Basically. Yeah, parrotbills.
Like crossbills?
No.
No, not like crossbills.
Not
No.
like crossbills.
Not like finches.
No.
No, not like finches.
No, so they're actually parrotbills.
What other birds are parrotbills?
Oh, now you're asking.
Parrots?
Yeah, no. Yeah. Surprisingly enough, not parrots.
Parrots aren't parrotbills?
No.
Stupid, isn't it?
Marsh
harrier?
I think they're citizens.
Citizens?
Yeah, I think they're citizens.
We should all be upstanding citizens.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Like that?
Upstanding,
That's good, wasn't it?
Very good, very quick.
Straight
very
off,
quick.
that's wit.
Yeah.
I know this is a birding channel, but I think this is probably worth showing you. A water vole. You don't see them very often. I've never seen one.
Somebody was showing this one actually. She did quite well.
Just a water vole. Well, in a sort of frustrating turn of events, I think I'm very well. My whole body has come over in aches. I genuinely think I need to lie down. So why am I walking across this? Because I stayed back in the van, so I could barely move. Here's the van. There you can see it. Way sort of yonder. John waved over. He's got a ruddy shelduck. And no, I'm not being rude. It's called a ruddy shelduck. He's got it here, he waved me over. And he knows I'm not feeling very well.
Oh,
What?
It's just disappeared behind the hillock.
It's gone?
So it's not gone,
Oh.
it's just not visible. I actually feel as though I'm being visited by the spectre of death. It's coming towards me. I could hear you going, I'm not very well. It's distant, and it was there with a couple of Egyptian geese, and it has literally just walked behind. a mound of grass.
Of course it has. Lovely. Do you know what? There's a Lapland bunting down that stretch of the coast.
There is.
I cannot be bothered to even think about going to find it.
There's a Lapland bunting there.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down here.
You ever lie down? Have you locked the van up?
No.
Oh right, there's a key out there.
Don't know.
Oh no.
Why?
If it locks itself.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's keys.
Oh, you're joking.
No.
Sorry. Sorry. Whoopsie.
We're all alright, we're fine.
Hold on.
Yeah. You just rest.
Just fell asleep. Literally lying on the stones, and I fell asleep. Also, I can't figure out if my head is lower than my feet, or my feet are lower than my head. What way up am I, John? What way am I lying? What? John's gone. John's gone. He's literally disappeared. What? Oh, looks like I'm here for the foreseeable then. Well, this for a bird. In case this is the last time you see me, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like and leave me a comment. Let me know if you've ever fallen asleep on a beach and then woke up not being able to move and realise your friends have gone. Let me know in the comments. See you next time.
You're right.
Where you been?
Where have I been?
Yeah.
Looking for a ruddy shelduck.
Over here.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
No. It's nice actually. It's very comfy, isn't it? It's very relaxing.
So comfy. I fell asleep.
Did you?
I fell asleep and I woke up and you weren't here.
Yeah.
You took a picture of me. Oh, your battery's dying.
Yeah, my battery's dying. Oh, that's not the only... I think your battery's dying.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm back in the van. Just had another little sleep actually. John's out on the top of a bank with his scope trying to find that ruddy shelduck. I can't even bring myself to walk up that bank. I am wiped out. I'm properly wiped out. Like, it's extreme birding, you know. Oh, this is extreme birding. Matt gets tired. Genuinely, I am not quite right. Just aching all over. Do you remember when you were at school and you told the teacher you weren't feeling very well, and so you ended up in this room by yourself, like a nurse's room or something, and it's like very quiet because you're just by yourself, or you were really unwell and so like your parents had to come and pick you up, then I would have, well, I don't know about you, but then I would have had to like be at home, like maybe lying on the sofa, but when I was allowed to watch telly, everything was quiet. A bit like in here. It's like being back at school, which is ironic considering John was a geography teacher for about 30 odd years, probably more. Oh, he's here now.
I have looked everywhere. No way it's flown away. So it is there. But there we go. What'd you do?
How long were you a teacher for?
38 years. There you go. But no ruddy shelduck.
No ruddy shelduck. I said it earlier and I'll say it again, that encounter with the bearded tits was, it has to be the second best highlight. I can't let it overtake the Shrike, but what a time. So we're heading home, and I will leave you with a little montage of the brilliant, extraordinary, fantastic, stupendous, utterly dream-worthy, inspirational, just, you know, all that, birds that we've seen across the weekend. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It is free, doesn't cost anything, it means you'll see all these videos, and please give this video a like, and comment anything you want. I mean, within reason, you know, like, be nice. Do all that, and I'll see you next time. Cheers then.
Above these crowds, stuck in the dust of the life that you found, with nowhere to go, no higher ground. And even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound. You're earthbound.
All because we saw a Turkestan Shrike.
Yeah, I was going to say, what a celebration, eh? They knew the rock and roll birders in town.
Yeah. I mean, the wine was nice.
Yeah.
You know what? You know, it's a bit like Wimborne syndrome. I just love the subtlety of the differences between, you've got a group of black-headed gulls sat there on the water, and then there's just one, that beautiful, so pale, those lovely pale sort of white primary. Yeah. Well, the special thing about the short-toed lark being there is that it is a vagrant. It's not really supposed to be there, and yet it's thriving. Look at it. It was feeding away on that strand line. And another thing is, when you're looking at all of those knots, you can start to pick out individuals amongst all of those thousands. You can start to look at the expressions on their faces.